Hey guys, Andy Prepper here. Part 3 of my little packable field medical kit for basic camping and all that. This is going to be what I think is probably the most important part of the kit, other than maybe the Benadryl and the meds like I talked about on the last vid. This is the Quik Clot trauma pack. Okay, this one I've already opened just so I can show you easier. Normally it's sealed up nice and tight. It does have a little Ziploc top here for use and reuse. First of all, you say, why do I need a trauma pack? Well, you never know when you're going to have trauma. One of the things that's going to kill you the quickest, other than a heart attack or something like that, anaphylaxis from a bee sting out in the wild, is going to be massive bleeding. I'd say that's probably the #1 potential killer out there. Is you get a massive wound. You're bleeding like crazy, you don't know how to stop it. Now, there are other ways to stop bleeding other than this stuff. Again, I'm a doctor. I've done trauma stuff. I've done all sorts of ER work. I can handle myself probably without this, but this is nice and convenient. And if you don't have any training, you got to have this. You say, well, I'm just going on a day hike. I'm not going to be finding any major trauma out there. No, it's not true. None of us ever intend to get hurt. None of us ever plan on it. If we did, we probably wouldn't show up, okay? You need one of these, okay? I've seen the Quik Clot a lot. I have not personally used Quik Clot, though a lot of my staff at the hospital are former military, combat medics, that type stuff. A bunch of the guys I know, my workers, I should say, use this stuff, have in the past effectively, and some of them have used it on the battlefield and speak the world of Quik Clot. So I've not run into any of my field medics that ever complained about this stuff. It was all great. Again, this little trauma pack fits in the pocket of one of your cargo pants, that type stuff. This is going to be the bulkiest piece of your smaller kit that we're going to talk about. Still lightweight. I don't have the weight on it. It doesn't say. It's not much at all, okay? It's going to be bulky, but other than that, it's okay. It's not real bulky, I don't think. So let's go through this thing. Bought this from LA Police Gear a while back. It was in their reduced items for $19.99, $19.95, something like that. Usually on Amazon, other places, this runs you about 25 bucks. 20, 25, who cares? It's worth it. So here's the basic stuff. Pull it apart. Duct tape. Decent, generous roll of duct tape. This is the best adhesive in the world for holding bandages and, you know, compression bandages. Anything heavy and it's going to be taking a lot of wear out in the wild. You need duct tape. Screw the little medical tape. This stuff is going to be good if it's wet, if it's raining, if it's cold, if it's whatever. Duct tape holds the world together. So that's tremendous. Don't know exactly how much duct tape that is. Don't think it says. 2 inches by 26 inches. There you go. That's a gracious plenty for a medical kit. Let's see. Next, pull them out at random. Triangular bandage. A lot of uses for a triangular bandage. Turn that into a sling. That type of stuff. It's got 2 big safety pins here. You could add extra if you wanted to. Again, this is a Ziploc bag. You can doctor this if you want. So this is 40 by 40 by 56. That's great. Lots of uses for that. You got a stack of antiseptic towelettes here. 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of them. So that's, again, an ample plenty, I think. You can use alcohol wipes or whatever if you wanted, but again, I'm going to keep this little kit just as is. So there's that. That's great. Next. Gauze. You got to have some gauze to wrap stuff up nice and tight. And this is sealed up. I think it's sterile. Latex free, etc. Again, got to have a gauze. Again, this kit's going to do a whole lot of my basic medical kit, so it's not just for the heavy trauma. We're going to save the Quik Clot for last. Got a little instruction packet here on how to use it and basic trauma type stuff, tourniquets, etc. Useful, but I would not really want to be reading this out in the field when I'm trying to figure it out, okay? I would probably open this thing up and read it before if you don't have any knowledge. Let's see, what we got here next? Big 4x4 sponges. 2 of them. 4x4s. Absolutely one of the most useful things in the world in the medical field. Soak up blood, take out dirt, corrosion, just anything. There's 4x4s everywhere in medicine. As you saw in one of the kits I did for the first review, they had 2x2s. 2x2s are fine. 4x4s are better. They take up more space, but you can always cut a 4x4 up and make it 2x2s. So you can do a lot of stuff with that. I'm going to save the Quik Clot for last here, guys. Next, pair of nitrile gloves in a Ziploc bag. A little biohazard sticker there, so if you got to put your bloody gloves or gear in something just to keep it from somebody else getting in contact with all the blood and the gore and the goo, that's great. So pair of gloves, wonderful. And there's also an extra little antiseptic alcohol wipe in there, so that's tremendous. For after the fact, you get blood on your hands, what have you, you want to clean up. Assuming it's not your own blood, which I'm not too worried about my own blood. Another little registration card thing, I think. Next, here we go. Got a compression combine pad is what they call it. 5 by 9, good, thick, heavy. Gonna soak up a lot of blood and stuff, and just protect your wound. Slap it on there, that type of stuff. You put this on top of the Quik Clot or whatever. Lots of uses there. Again, good for even moderate cuts, that type of stuff. Let's see here. Next. Some 2x2s. We just talked about 4x4s, so there's some little 2x2s. There's 2 of those, so that's 4. That's probably good, especially with what I've got in my basic little kit, my little small plastic pouch. We're going to do a review on that later from 100 cuts, so don't worry about that so much. And the final piece, other than this little plastic bag, is the Quik Clot itself. This is a little lightweight. I think it's 25 grams, yeah, 0.88 ounces. It's 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Let me put this up there. It's going to be hard to see. It's about like that. All nice sealed up, air out of it, tear off top, which I'm not going to do, obviously. If you see the back here, it's a gauze, basically, that you compress down on the wound. You're bleeding like crazy from your leg or your arm because you got sliced by an axe or a knife, or you fell down and got jabbed by some sharp rock or a limb or something like that, brush. Basically, you open this thing up, you slap it on the wound, and you hold it. The chemicals in it are going to clot that bad boy up very fast. Like I said, I got a lot of my guys at work who've used this stuff in the field and real SHTF type stuff. Love it. Now, it only comes with 1. It even says here on the backpack, 1 may not be enough for the size of the wound. Yeah, that's true. This should be general purpose okay. If you want to get paranoid, you can buy an extra piece here, an extra piece of Quik Clot packet without the kit. I don't think you necessarily need the full kit, 2 or 3 of those to get the job done. This is going to do the job. Again, if you just need to stop bleeding, just buy an extra pack of this. Walmart actually sells these. Here's what the box looks like. Pardon, the box is a bit squished. I had some stuff in the bag, but who cares? Pull it out. Same thing. So an extra one if you need it. I don't think both of these are going to fit inside the bag with all the extra gear, but that's fine. Put this in your little pack anyway. That cost about just less than 10 bucks, $9.95, $9.50, something like that. So 20 to 25 bucks for your trauma kit. Maybe an extra 10 if you want it for this one. I don't know if I'd carry that myself. Just with me, I'd probably just carry the one, but depends on how far you're going out and all that. But personal choice there. So for 25 bucks, this is what I would say it should be the centerpiece of your kit. Bleeding is what's going to kill you, and kill you fast if you don't know how to stop it. If you don't know how to stop it, put some pressure on it with this bad boy and let the chemicals do the work for you. It's tremendous. You can handle a sucking chest wound with this. Now, I'm not going to necessarily talk about all the ins and outs of that, but you can get one of those. Say, well, I'm not going to get shot or wherever. Well, you may still fall. Again, you can fall and get a massive puncture in your side, something like that, that punctures a lung, something like that. Hey, you need to learn how to deal with one of those. It's not that hard, but if you don't know what you're doing, it can kill you. So, tremendous amount of gear, in my opinion, for this. Again, triangular bandage, big wraparound gauze, which is going to be nice for security things. The duct tape is killer. Could I get by with less of the little antiseptic towelettes? Yeah, maybe, but I'm going to keep it as is. Quik Clot, 2 2x2s, 2 4x4s, combine pad, what I call a little compression bandage type thing, something to put pressure on, and the gloves. This is going to be able to take care of your heavy-duty injuries, at least in the short term, to slow things down. You need to worry about heavy bleeding. That little standard medical kit is not going to help you. There's nothing in there with Band-Aids are not enough, okay? You got to have some stuff that's absorbent. You got to have a way to apply some pressure, keep the pressure on there, keep things tight. Quik Clot kit is going to do it. So for 25 bucks at the most for the kit, I don't know about shipping. Let's say 20 plus another 10, 30 bucks. Tremendous. These things last a while. I think they last till middle of 2014. I don't know how long this has been on the shelf, but let's call it 2.5 years shelf life. Now, if I had one that was over the dates and there was a massive bleed out there at home somewhere and I had to use this, would I? Yeah, I would. They don't recommend using anything past the expiration date. But if I got nothing else, sure. Okay. If you want to take one out after dates and practice with it, hopefully you'll never use it. But anyway, Quik Clot, great stuff. Recommend the kit highly. There's some other kits with Quik Clot in them. This is the smallest, easiest, most comprehensive one in my mind that's going to do the job. Highly recommend it. One thing you also need are some trauma shears. I left those in another room. I may show them in the next video. They're basically safety scissors, basically, that are used to cut open clothing, that type stuff. You need a pair of those, in my opinion. I've just done too much trauma work over the years. You say, well, I've got a knife. I can cut somebody's clothes off if I need to. No, no, no. I don't want you anywhere near me if I'm flailing around hurting and you trying to cut open my clothes with a knife and slice me with it and make another injury. Those trauma shears aren't that big. They're not that heavy. You know, cut up somebody's leg or their pants just to get to the wound, but you still got the pants leg there, so you can still wrap it around, use that to compress things for the wound once you've taken care of it. You know, keep some warmth there if you need to, you know, put the pants leg or the shirt back together partially. You get the trauma shears. I'm going to show you those in the next video. I apologize for not having those out, guys. But anyway, Quik Clot kit, little trauma pack. Highly recommend it. And again, that's going to be the biggest, bulkiest part of your bag. But that's a lot of your wound care, along with the little minor stuff that I'm going to show you in the little pack. It's going to do the job. Indie Prepper, out.